Hi students, how's it going? It's Pete Posner here at Big Break English, your British English teacher. And in today's lesson, we're going to look at IELTS Writing Task 1, describing a process and specifically the paragraphs after the overview, where you have to describe the main stages in the process. And we're going to look at using linkers here, a variety of linkers, to score higher on coherence and cohesion. Okay, and by the way, if you also need help with IELTS Writing Task 2, you can download my free ebook, 12 Tips for Scoring Higher on IELTS Writing Task 2. Down here in the description, there is a link. Okay? Okay, so the process we're going to describe today is how to make baked beans on toast. Okay, baked beans are really popular in the UK. They're basically beans in tomato sauce, okay? And you buy them in a can. And together we're going to describe how to prepare this very simple but delicious dish, okay? Okay, so once you have written the overview, then you have to write the main paragraphs that describe the main stages in the process. And we want to link those steps together so that our text is more cohesive and coherent. And that way you will score higher in that area in the test. Okay, so a little exercise for this. Write these linkers in the correct column of the table below according to their meaning. Okay, so we have three columns. The first stage is, next, and the last stage is. Okay, and for example, after that means next. Okay, so can you do the same for the other linkers? Okay, pause the video and we'll check together in a couple of minutes. Okay, how did you do? Your table should look like this. Okay, so for the first column, the first stage is, you should have written first of all, initially, to begin with, and the first step is that for the second column, next, you should have written after that, subsequently. The next step is that at this point, the following step is that, and then, after which, then, following this, okay, and the third column, the last stages, you should have written finally, and the last step is that. Okay, now students, before we look at the stages in the process of making baked beans, let's take a look at some important vocabulary. Okay, so we're making baked beans on toast, right? This is toast, yeah? Okay, so bread that we heated up, okay? Something else we need to know is with baked beans, you have to stir them. That's this action, okay? We're going to put the baked beans in a saucepan, okay? And we also have a saucepan top, so we can cover the baked beans, okay? What else? We also have the baked beans come in a tin, as I said before, and we have a tin opener to open the tin, okay? And finally, we have to, well, usually I put margarine. You can also put butter on your toast before you put the baked beans on, okay? So you spread the margarine or butter on your toast, okay? And that is the basic vocabulary that we need. Oh, one more thing. The saucepan, right, with the baked beans, it goes on the stove, okay? That's where we heat the baked beans up, okay? And yeah, that's it. That's the vocabulary that we need, okay? So we're ready. Okay, students, so here's another exercise for you. put these steps in the process of making baked beans on toast in order by writing 1 to 8 by A to H. Okay, and just one little piece of vocabulary, another piece of vocabulary. The word simmer, right? When a sauce is heated up and it becomes hot, then it starts to simmer. Okay, so you see some little bubbles, some steam. It means that the sauce is ready. Okay. Okay, so for example, number 1, the first step is open the tin of baked beans with a tin opener. Okay, so now do the same for the other steps. Okay, write 2 to 8 by the other steps. Okay, pause the video and we'll check together in a couple of minutes. Okay. Okay, how did you do? So we've got step 1, right? Step 2, pour the beans into a saucepan. Okay. 3, heat up the beans on the stove over medium to high heat. 4, wait for a few minutes, stirring occasionally until they simmer. 5, turn off the stove, covering the beans with a saucepan top to keep them warm. 6, toast 2 to 3 pieces of bread. 7, spread margarine or butter on the toast. And finally, 8, pour the beans onto the toast. Okay, students, you are now ready to write your paragraph. Okay, so use the linkers and the steps to describe the process of making baked beans on toast. For example, this is how I started my paragraph. To begin with, you open the tin of baked beans with a tin opener. Okay, and then you continue the paragraph. Okay, so use other linkers, right, to show what happens next, right? And then remember to use a linker at the end to show what happens at the end, right? Okay, so take 3 to 4 minutes, pause the video, and then we'll. Okay, so your paragraph should look something like this. Okay, of course there are variations in the linkers. Okay, so this is mine, right? As an example. So after which you pour the beans into a saucepan. Subsequently, you heat up the beans on a stove over a medium to high heat, and then you wait for a few minutes, stirring occasionally until they simmer. At this point, you should turn off the stove, covering the beans with a saucepan top to keep them warm. The next step is that you spread margarine or butter on the toast. Finally, pour the beans onto the toast. And that's it. You have your baked beans on toast. Congratulations. Enjoy your meal. Okay, students, that's all for today. So in today's lesson, you learned how to use a variety of linkers in IELTS Writing Task 1, describing a process. We did this on how to prepare the very popular dish in the UK of baked beans on toast. Okay, using linkers in this way will make your text more cohesive, and that will help you score higher on the area of coherence and cohesion, right? I hope you enjoyed the lesson. If so, please like it, please share it, and also remember that you can download my free ebook. The link is in the description. 12 tips for scoring higher on IELTS Writing Task 2. Okay, that's it. So see you next time.